Good evening, everyone. We have with us our head coach, Mr. Rahul. We'll take one question at a time, yes, please.
Hi, coach. Where do you think India lost the plot? I mean, even after Pope's 196, it looked as if India would bat well and get the runs.
To be honest, 230 was a pretty challenging score on this wicket in the fourth innings. It's always going to be challenging in India, a score like 230 on a fourth-day wicket, which was turning. So, yeah, we probably shouldn't have been chasing 230. It took a truly exceptional innings to get us to chase that amount of runs. Yeah, so I think that, to me, that really was the difference in the game. I thought the third day where Ollie Pope came out and played a fantastic innings, and I think that's something that set us back. He played a lot of high-risk shots, but executed them superbly. And yeah, that's an incredible innings on a wicket like that, 196, where nobody else got 50 in their side. Was the difference in the game.
Your generation of fantastic players on spin, but this current generation, there have been many instances where they've improved against spin. And even today, not many batsmen use the field, like getting down the pitch of the ball and smothering the spin, or there wasn't any plan B. Do you think it's a larger problem, or your assessment?
I mean, challenging today. I mean, I wouldn't be so harsh to judge them on today. In fact, if anything, I thought we left probably 70 runs on the board in the first innings. I think in our first innings, when conditions were pretty good to bat in on day two, I thought, in those kind of situations, we got ourselves into some good starts, and we didn't really capitalize. We didn't get 100. We didn't get somebody getting a really big 100 for us. So in some ways, in India, I think I just felt we left those 70, 80 runs back in the hut in the first innings. Second innings was always going to be challenging. It's one of those things that, it's tough. It's not easy to chase 230 here. It's not done very often. Having said that, I thought we got close and could have played a little bit better. But yes, certainly is a challenge. We've got to get better at. A lot of our players are quite young, in a sense that a lot of these guys do play a lot of white ball cricket, and then also maybe don't get a lot of time to get to play a lot of first-class cricket as well. So they're learning, and I think they're getting there. But like I said, I'm a little bit more disappointed in the first innings, where we probably left about 70 runs on the board.
Hi, coach. Almost an extension to that question. We've seen India's red ball batters against left-arm spin with high release points. Atas Patel, Mark Kuhneman, Chakri, that last told. Is there any weakness or anything different that we need to combat against left-arm spin?
No, I think it's pretty good bowling. I mean, the ball is spinning in the fourth innings. Thought we combated it pretty well in the first innings. When it gets to these kind of situations, you've got to give credit to the bowlers, and they were able to pitch the ball in the right areas, pitch it, where it was challenging for us, and spun the ball pretty appreciably, right? I think using your feet to a left-arm spinner in these kind of conditions is fraught with risk. Probably have to play a little bit more square of the wicket. Having said that, that is a high-risk shot as well. And I thought Ollie Pope did that beautifully. I mean, he did that. He did play a lot of high-risk shots, and then they came off. But that's where I think probably in the first innings we could have capitalized a little bit more. I don't see it as a huge issue. I think when you have a turning track and you have a good left-arm spinner who's able to pitch it in line with the stumps and in this sort of in the difficult area, it is going to be a challenge. But yeah, I think as the series goes on, I think it's going to be something that we are going to have to counter and get better at and develop some plans and strategies around.
Hi, coach. It's rare that at home an opposition comes in and takes on the spinners that way and prevents them from bowling their best ball. Have you seen something like that happen before? And how would the India spinners try to counter that going forward?
Yeah, we'll have to counter that. I mean, I certainly haven't seen it being done that consistently. I mean, you've seen people try that before, and people have played some exceptional innings. But to be able to play it that consistently and that successfully without making that many mistakes, and maybe one or the odd mistake here or there. I probably haven't seen it for a long time. So, yeah, and especially the reverse sweep. I think the sweep is something that we've seen people employ in the past. But to be able to play a reverse sweep that consistently and that successfully for that long, hats off to him, credit to him.
Yeah, Rahul, just a follow-up to that question. They're given an impression very clearly that they're able to play the sweep shot horizontal but often in the series, and that's a big thing of spinners. But do you think can spinners hold to that sort of batting? Right, so everybody's playing.
Yeah, of course we can. I mean, we just got to get more disciplined with where we pitch the ball, and we will work on it, and we will get better at it, and got some world-class spinners. It's not that the first time they've been challenged. One of the good things about our spinners is that they've always come back, they've always bounced back. And I think it truly played an exceptional innings. And I think sometimes, it's one of those games where you sometimes got to just, you talk about it a lot in sport that, we'll come out there, we'll give our best. And if somebody does something exceptional and does something well, we'll shake his hand, and congratulate him. And for me, that is important. I think, we need to really just, it feels like I just want to shake his hand and say, incredibly well done. That was an exceptional innings. I haven't seen a better exhibition of sweeping and reverse sweeping ever in these conditions against that quality of bowling. Having said that, for us now, it's important that we respond. We respond and we come up with some plans and with some strategies and see how we can maybe make him play those shots from probably even more difficult lengths and be even more disciplined and even more meticulous with our execution. Because I thought a little bit our execution went off, not by much, credit to him, but it was off a little bit, and hopefully in the next test match, if we get our execution right, then I hope he makes a mistake.
Coach, we've seen young batters coming and performing consistently well in limited overs, but same hasn't happened in Test cricket. There's a point where we even went back to Pujara and Dravid last year. So what do you attribute that to? And even again, Gill is struggling of late in Test cricket. What do you attribute that to? And also, what on Jadeja's this piece?
Yeah, so I mean, to be fair, there have been challenging wickets as well, and I keep saying that. And I wouldn't say this was a flat wicket by any stretch of imagination. Yes, it wasn't a bad wicket. It was a good cricket wicket, and it turned through the course of the game and turned. It allowed you to score runs, and as we saw even in the fourth innings, you could score runs. But it was still a challenging wicket. And I think there have been pretty challenging wickets over the last few years, and it's been a bit of a challenge for some of our young batsmen to adapt. But, they've got the skill and they've got the ability, and they've not come here. They've come here by scoring a lot of runs in domestic cricket, doing well in A-team cricket. So, they are being picked on merit. It's not that you're just picking people out of nowhere. And sometimes it does take time for people to adjust. They're working really hard, I will say that. I mean, there's a lot of thought going into a lot of their batting. And for them, it's just a question of then looking to constantly keep improving and developing skills that maybe help them counter these kind of conditions a little bit better. Jadeja's fitness, we'll see what, I mean, I honestly haven't had a chance to speak to the physio as yet. So, once I get back, I'll speak to him, and yeah, we'll see what it is. Honestly, I haven't had a chance to speak to the physio.
Hi, Rahul.
Hi.
A tough result today, but is it any consolation to have been part of a fantastic, exciting test match at a time, the format is under a wee bit of pressure, which provided a really great effort for the game?
Yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic, 4 days of terrific cricket. Saw some exceptional performances from both sides. Obviously, disappointing and unfortunate to finish on the losing side by a little bit. But if you look at the bigger picture, to have 25,000 people come every day of 4 days in a test match here at Hyderabad, I thought it was exceptional. The whole vibe, the atmosphere was terrific. The cricket was played at a lovely pace. Both teams played the game without taking a backward step. Both teams are pushing hard. So yeah, I think it was really good test match to play in and be a part of.
Rahul, your thoughts on the way Ashwin and the Bharat batted today, and how hopeful were you at that stage? They were almost down and down. They clawed their way back in. So how did you feel during those times?
That was a good fight back. I mean, at one stage it looked like we might they wouldn't be able to get close, but yeah, as it got towards the end of the day, you're obviously hopeful. But again, it took, like I said, it was a really good ball to get Bharat out. There's no shame in that. Again, credit to, I've been praising Ollie Pope a lot, but, credit to the other debutant as well. I thought he had a fantastic test match, in the context of the game, to score 24 in the first innings, I think it was, and 30 plus, I think, in the second innings, and to take 9 wickets. I think he had a fantastic game. So, yeah, and even that ball to bowl to Bharat, I mean, it needed a really good ball to get him out, and he executed that ball and delivered that ball. So, yeah, we were obviously hopeful, and Ashwin's bailed us out in a few games, some close games we've had recently, but not to be this time. But great series to look forward to now. We've fallen behind, and we got to bounce back, and we got to show some character, and looking forward to that.
Final question.
Rahul, we've seen batsmen in the name of playing attacking cricket or positive cricket, they just get out. We saw 80s, 3 of them scored 80s and more. How do you strike balance between this kind of cricket and also playing responsibly, making it a big difference?
You have to strike that balance. It is the balance that you're trying to strike. Of course, you're looking to score runs and you're looking to move the game along. And sometimes it comes off and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, they were playing very positively as well. And in the second innings, certainly they executed that exceptionally well. Look, I mean, I wouldn't be too harsh. Rahul missed a really short ball. It just stopped. One of those things that can go straight into deep mid-wicket's hand. But like I said earlier, I thought even in the first innings, we could have converted some of those starts and probably got us closer to 500 and completely sealed the game. But having said that, then, I thought 190 was a really good score, to be very honest with you. But then again, not many teams come in and score 420 in the third innings in India. And not many players score 196. So, well done to them.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.